We love a great FAFO moment, and I have another one for you. First, some background. 65% of the state of Alabama voted for Donald Trump. Alabama is in the top 10 poorest states in the United States related to federal poverty level. While many of these voters sit behind their computers and celebrate Elon Musk cutting waste, little did they know it was going to impact them. This week, over 250 residents in Huntsville, Alabama received a notice from their electric company that they were going to have to pay an additional $100 surcharge.
Damn!
The explanation for this was that Donald Trump's recent executive order ended a $1 million grant to the utilities company to help these customers pay for their electric bill. Leaders in Alabama are furious because they said this is counterintuitive to Donald Trump's promise to lower energy costs. Tots and pears.
And it is a fact that the body of water off the coast of Louisiana is called the Gulf of America. And I'm not sure why news outlets don't want to call it that, but that is what it is. The Secretary of Interior has made that.
This video is for the white women crashing out because Kamala Harris posted a picture of she and Doug on Valentine's Day, and oh, you were outraged. We don't have time for Valentine's. We have to fight fascism. Where are you? Why aren't you standing up? Why aren't you leading the charge? Why? We demand that you show up. She did. You didn't. The data doesn't lie. She showed up. She fought. She sacrificed. But you did not. And I have news for y'all. The day of you benefiting off of black women's labor is over. The 92%, they are resting. As they should. They have done the work of civil rights and equal rights for the entirety of this country's history. And you have stood back in your privilege and benefited when you could have used your privilege to push ahead civil rights and equal rights. But instead, you let them be beat, you let them be killed, and you just siphoned out the benefits from their labor. That day is over. So let me say to all the Nancy Grahams and every Patty Mayonnaise who's crashing out over Kamala Harris having her due rest, her due joy, her due good food eaten because she lost so much weight because she was giving everything during that election, getting her due love from Doug, being with her family, having her due rest, as is the rest of the 92%. Let me say this to you all, Patty Mayonnaise. Let me say this to you, Nancy Graham. Let me say this. If you want a new bonnet in this season, you're gonna have to go pick the cotton yourself in the field. Let me just snatch that whip out of your metaphoric hand. Black people are not your property. Black women do not owe you their labor. It is your turn, far past your turn, to get out there and do the work yourself. And not just for you, also for them. It's our turn to create a safe place. It's our turn to put our bodies in the line. It's our turn to go to the streets. It's our turn to mobilize. It's our turn to organize. It's our turn. And don't let me catch you posting that crap, calling out Kamala. You keep her name out of your mouth. I'm sick of y'all. Sick of it. Sick of it.
Surprise, surprise.
Among all the other arguments that I laugh at the left about, today's is going to be about the Gulf of America. They're like, oh my God, why would he do that? Oh my God, fuck him. We're not going to call it that. Never in my life, never in my 30 years of life have I heard about the Gulf of Mexico as much as I do now, if at all. A reporter asked Caroline why they would kick out another reporter from the Oval Office for continuing to call it the Gulf of Mexico. If the president signed something into law, why would you think that you should be able to disobey that law in the White House? Like, this is common sense.
Me, you don't know about discernment without telling me you don't know about discernment, sis. But continue.
Then they're like, oh, he can change the name of this body of water, but what about the grocery prices? Where were you the past 4 years? It took your bye-bye baby Biden 4 years to fuck shit up, and Trump is supposed to come in and fix it in less than a month? You can argue COVID all you want to, but I don't see why I should listen to the COVID argument if now I'm finding out that all this money was going to bullshit when this whole time during COVID, it could have been going to Americans to help us. But anyway, I don't know how many times I gotta say this, but I'll say it again. The right did not vote for grocery prices. And let's keep it real, none of you guys give a shit about this body of water. You never cared about it. You only care about it because Trump put his hands on it. That's the only reason why you care about it. And not for nothing, if you're such a proud American, why wouldn't you want your country on any and everything that you can get your hands on?
So how many years altogether did you live in the U.S.?
As almost 19 years.
19 years.
Yes, I have a wife, kids. I have one daughter is 4 years and one boy is 4 months old. I left over there.
You have a 4-year-old daughter and a 4-month-old son.
Yes, I left there.
And they're in with your wife in the U.S.
Yes, and I'm scared because now with Trump they say they have to go with the criminal, but we're not a criminal.
But you have a trespassing conviction?
Yes, but to me it's not like that.
To you, it's not as serious a crime.
Yes, I'm not.
So what now? Where do you go, Fidel?
Now I have to go with my mom and my dad.
They live here.
Yeah.
Are you going to try to stay here? Or do you think you'll go back?
I have to go back, for sure.
You'll find a way back?
Yes.
I don't know how any of you guys are going and going and going. I know you gotta be at the same level of mental health as me. Every day it's something new between the fucking news and the fucking stupid Biden and stupid Trump. And this country's fucked. Every day we're spending more and more money. None of us are getting ahead. The rich people are the ones that are fucking getting ahead. I'm tired of struggling. I've done everything I can. I'm trying to be a good man. I take care of my daughter. I take care of my wife. The best I can. I can't keep going. Every day it's something new. Then on top of that, as if you're not trying to spend money, you have to. Fucking everything's expensive. I own a painting company, I still can't fucking make it. I'm fucking trying, man.
Well, well, well. Now, if you're finding me here, this just so happens to be my backup account. And if you're not following me here on my backup account, you can hit the plus button expeditiously. Yes, yes. Now, we've got 70-something thousand of us over here having a tea party, but on the other account, there's something like 320,000. So some of y'all have not migrated over here yet, and you might want to go ahead and do that, honey, because the 300,000 account, well, it's about to get banned again. Yes, you see, I did a little video. I know you know the video with the filter, the Republican makeup filter. Well, the MAGA didn't like what I had to say, which I find so very funny, honey. Are you not the party of go fuck your feelings? And now all of a sudden you've got feelings? Honey, for 4 years we had to listen to you whine and complain. It's our turn to whine and complain. That's the only thing we have left to keep us sane is our whining and our complaining. Yes, if you don't like the things I have to say about you, just scroll on past, honey. And you can kiss my ass, honey. Yes, I do believe, what is it y'all like to say? Cry harder? Yes, well, buckle up, buttercup. The tears are going to be flowing because this ride ain't slowing. No, baby, I got all kind of mean and hateful things to say. Yes, and don't call me a bully. I'm not bullying no one. You cannot bully a bully, honey. And all of y'all are a bunch of racist, misogynist, xenophobic, homophobic, transphobic, so many phobics and isms and schisms. Hell, there ain't enough words in a dictionary to explain how much hate you have in your heart, but y'all are all confused by us. You keep saying that we're supposed to be the party of tolerance. Yes, but you seem to be confused about what that means, honey. I will not tolerate your hate. It is a tit for tat kind of day for me, honey. Yes, I'm just following suit with you. You got rude and hateful ass things to say? Well, I do too. Sorry, not fucking sorry.
You thought that only undocumented immigrants were going to be caught in ICE raids and detained? Well, I'm sorry, you're wrong. This past Monday, a mother, grandmother, and toddler, Puerto Ricans, by the way, Puerto Ricans are US citizens, were detained by ICE for speaking Spanish in Milwaukee, Wisconsin. They were denied any chance to speak to the officers until they got to the detention center. So they were not allowed to tell them, hey, we're American citizens from Puerto Rico. We have the right to be here and also to speak Spanish without getting detained. Only after the mother produced documentation, including birth certificates, which how many of us travel with birth certificates? Is that the expectation now? That's when the agents apologized. Oh, but they did not apologize enough to return these people home. No. They had to call and pay for their own ride back from the facility. So that is where we are right now. So I just want us all to be on the same page about what is happening with ICE raids and these detentions.
Julia White, step up. Step up, Julia White. Come here. Come here. Mom needs to talk to you. Sit down. Sit down, baby. Listen to me carefully. I'm only going to say this one time to you. Listen to me carefully. Keep doing what you're doing, okay? Stop worrying about what these people have to fucking say. Would you please? Stop it. You have been in this game for long enough. You know the purpose of what they're doing right now. Come on now. Stop. Nobody has ever, and I'm a mother teaching my children how to correctly respect cultures. This president that we have now has said something about every single race, not just African American people. Every single race. You remember what he said about Wuhan, China? You literally are witnessing what he's doing to Latin American, Mexican communities. You're witnessing before your eyes, and the only thing you have to say is, oh my God, she's a Trumpy because she reposted a video of Trump dancing. Oh, everybody's making Trump into a meme because him and his old dances, they're funny. It's goofy as hell to watch a president do what he's doing. But how is she responsible for any of that? She wakes up loving the man that she loves. She wakes up dancing to the music that her body moves to. On what planet did you put those two together and go, racist? What? Stealing from our culture but gives nothing to our culture. How the fuck do you know what she gives and doesn't give to the culture? What the fuck do you know? And she's already told you, I did not vote for Trump. I am not educated. Nor she needs to be educated at this fucking young age. All she needs to do is live life, love, respect, be kind to people. That's all she needs to do. When she has children and she needs to make sure that she teaches her children, behave this way, and this is what happens. Then okay, hold her responsible, but not until fucking then.
And then articles of impeachment have been filed against Wig. You don't have to go home, but you're going to get the hell out that White House. And then California had its third earthquake in 6 hours. Y'all paying all that money in rent for God to be over there shaking y'all like strippers. And then I think Wig has dementia. I don't care what you say. He answers questions just like the residents at my job. And I work in a nursing home. And then a polar vortex is supposed to be bringing snow and ice to millions of Americans. They just better not bring it to goddamn Louisiana. And then Wig ass fired all the nuclear weapon people. Why would he do that? And now he want them back. And then pray for Canada. I make a lot of jokes, but something isn't sitting right in my spirit about how badly Wig wants to bully them into submission. And I fear that he'll go to extremes to do it. And then Bobby McCaskey was allegedly beaten within an inch of his life by Hammond, Louisiana Police Department. And we won't let that slide. And then federal workers with exceptional reviews were fired for poor performance. Imagine being really good at your job and they fire you for it. And then Rob Schmidt said that Kendrick Lamar had the worst halftime performance ever. But I'm sure if Taylor Swift would have got up there singing off key.
We have some news right now. Tom Homan, Donald Trump's border czar, has confirmed on Fox News just now that he has asked the Department of Justice to investigate AOC, the congresswoman from New York City. Specifically, AOC previously held a Know Your Rights seminar with her constituents regarding immigration enforcement. Essentially, for individuals to know what happens if an ICE officer approaches you, what you can do, what your rights are. And while Tom Homan, the border czar, was extremely unhappy with that. He first appeared on the Ingram angle and said that he was working with the Department of Justice and finding out whether that webinar was possibly illegal. And now appearing today, once again on Fox News, he has confirmed that he has essentially asked the Department of Justice to look into AOC, whether or not she is promoting evasion of immigration enforcement activities. Now, prosecuting a member of Congress for hosting a Know Your Rights webinar would be one of the most extreme things someone can do. And it's unlikely that it'll happen, but this is what he is saying. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack shortly, so be sure to subscribe for free at the link in my bio and follow along to stay up to date on all the news you need to know about.
Hope your day gets better. Positive energy.
I don't even know how to start this. I try to accept the fact that people have differences of opinion when it comes to politics and, you know, would she have been the right choice for America? Was he the right choice for America? What have you? He's got a tough stance on immigration. She had a more lenient stance on immigration. She had a tough stance on taxing the rich. He has a more lenient stance on taxing the rich. She would not have allowed Elon Musk and his muskrats into government files, allowing access to, let's face it, all of our information, our social security numbers, our bank accounts, our tax returns, all that fun stuff, whereas he has allowed Muskrat to have full access to it and full access to decimating federal agencies, turning a blind eye to it, and there's only so much that the courts can do to stop this. You have Elon Musk threatening senators and congressmen, if you don't support Trump, then we'll make sure that you're not nominated again and what have you. And again, I can accept the fact that everybody has different views and opinions, but what I cannot accept, and I will not accept, and you can go to hell if you do accept, is the fucking fact he is threatening to take over other countries. I don't give two fucks whether it is Canada, whether it is the Panama Canal, whether it is Greenland, whether it is the Gaza Strip. We don't have any right to any of those. None. Zero. Zip. Nada. And yet that fuckwit sitting in the White House thinks that Mango Mussolini, Pumpkin Spice Palpatine has no rights whatsoever to make these threats. And for any American that supports him in this, you go to fucking hell. You go straight to fucking hell. And I'm here to tell you right now, you want to go after Canada? I will fucking be the first one to fucking sign up to fight for Canada. Yep, that's right. I would be the first one to fight on Canada's behalf. Why? A, my father was Canadian. B, I got Canadian relatives. C, they're one of our closest fucking allies, and how dare Velveeta Voldemort threaten to go after them? Why? Because he thinks that we defended them? Are you fucking serious? The man is the dumbest thing to ever grace the planet. He has made America a laughing stock, and you fuckwits continue to support him. I will never comprehend this. He's coming after your Social Security. So those of you that get SSDI or what have you, be prepared to have that fucked with, because he's going to come after it. You get Medicaid? Have fun with that. You get Medicare? Enjoy that while he can, because he's coming for it. He is coming for it. And his little 50 million, 100 million for condoms for Gaza, where the fuck does anybody come up with this shit other than his fucking demented, withered pea brain? And if you got a problem with anything I'm saying, take the garbage out, and that means you.
Okay, man, have I got some drama for you at the Munich Security Conference. It literally feels like we're watching a really messy, a bad breakup between America and Europe. And what makes this even crazier is that it was literally on Valentine's Day. So yesterday, we're all in this room, right? And everyone gets on stage, they make their own speeches, and the president of the EU Commission, she goes on stage and she basically says that Trump's tariffs would be an attack on Europe, and that Europe, if they did this, they would respond accordingly. And then I think she kind of said this in anticipation because she knew that JD Vance was going to get on stage next. And oh my lord, the vibe in this room was crazy. And then he actually started speaking, and the things that he said, like, bro really became the ops. He started off by saying, and this was a hugely controversial point, he said that the biggest threat to Europe right now was not Russia, was not China, but rather Europe themselves. Bro basically said, you are your own biggest threat, and everyone is sat there. And he didn't stop there, he went one step further. He started calling out countries one by one in Europe, and he started using these examples to basically make the point that their understanding of democracy is flawed. Obviously, this didn't go down well. And then things got even crazier because then Trump announced that they were scaling back military support for Europe. And then in reaction, Zelensky was like, we need to create an army for Europe now because, you know, we can't just rely so much on America. One of the craziest parts, let me find Max to tell you this because this is the craziest part. I found him on the career ladder. The chance, I never thought that I'd be on the career ladder.
On the career laddie.
Tell everyone what you told me this morning about basically America becoming the ops.
About the white sausage?
Leave that part out. That was supposed to be private.
Right. What risk has grown the most since last year?
Yeah.
So interestingly, in the last year, if you look here, I can show. Look,
Listen to this.
I got
This is
receipts.
crazy.
I got receipts. So in the last year, for Germany, Canada, France, India, Italy, and Japan, there is the same risk that has grown the most, according to the people who live in those countries.
What is that risk?
The United States. Yeah, and I want to show, dude.
Bro,
I want to
what?
everyone but the UK. For the UK, it's a threat of nuclear weapons.
Okay, so let me ask you the question. Do you think that we have a Germany?
I decided to get to your level.
Do you think that we're seeing an America and Europe breakup on Valentine's Day, or is it just a little dip in their relationship?
Dude, I don't know. I think the thing about...
Bro, okay, right.
Okay.
Stop.
Okay.
Yes or no?
Let me tell you this one thing. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I don't think it's a breakup, but I think it's definitely...
Do they need marriage counseling?
Like, yes, I think so.
President Trump recently said that your dealings with China were so egregious that in times gone by, the punishment would have been death.
That's right, he said that. That's correct.
He is suggesting that you be punished by death. The former commander-in-chief to his former top military advisor.
Look, I'm a soldier. I've been faithful and loyal to the Constitution of the United States for 44 and a half years. And my family and I have sacrificed greatly for this country, my mother and father before them. And, you know, as much as these comments are directed at me, it's also directed at the institution of the military. And there's 2.1 million of us in uniform. And the American people can take it to the bank that all of us, every single one of us, from private to general, we're loyal to that Constitution and we'll never turn our back on it no matter what the threats, no matter what the humiliation, no matter what. If we're willing to die for that document, if we're willing to deploy to combat, if we're willing to lose an arm, a leg, an eye, to protect and support and defend that document and protect the American people, then we're willing to live for it too. So I'm not going to comment directly on those things, but I can tell you that this military, this soldier, me, will never turn our back on that Constitution.
But for the record, was there anything inappropriate or treasonous about the calls you made to China?
Absolutely not. Zero. None.
It almost seems odd to ask this question because the former commander-in-chief seems to be calling for your execution. Are you worried about your safety?
I've got adequate safety.
For all my fellow Americans who are super confused why Congress and the Republicans aren't doing anything, And y'all are saying like, well, don't they want to get reelected? What about their jobs? What about their constituents? They're not going to get reelected. Honey, that is the least of their concerns right now, because see, they know what's actually happening and they're not telling the American people. So they're terrified for their lives. That's what they're doing, and that's why they're not doing anything, because what's truly happening is that, if you look up the name Yarvin, okay? Elon Musk's goes by this guy's teachings, okay? It is not Donald Trump who'd like to be a dictator of America. Elon Musk is the person who wants to dictate America. So y'all are kiki and ha about how he's the president. No, he's literally worse than the president. He wants to be a monarch of America. It is not a joke. This man is dead serious. Read the writings of Yarvin. Read anything by tech bros and ask them about their political affiliations and their philosophical beliefs. They believe that America and the rest of the world should not have government. They believe it should be run like a business, and they should be using logarithms and AI and technology to make decisions. There should not be any decision making. So therefore, these Republicans, their positions are going to be gone. They're gone. So they're not worried about getting reelected, because they're not going to have a position to get reelected too. They're doing their best to get on Elon Musk's good side, because when he becomes dictator of America, they don't want to go down. So it is worse than you guys think it is, okay? It is way worse. So as you guys are calling your Congress people and saying they're hanging up on you, it's because they don't care and they're not doing anything. Y'all need to wrap y'all brains around this, that whatever you think is happening in America, it is worse than that. Okay? Watch any futuristic movie. That's what they're trying to do. They are trying to automate America's government. Remember Trump said there will be no more voting? Because who you voting for? There's no one to vote. There's going to be no government. I am not a conspiracy theorist. I am not making this up. I did not come up with this on my own. Read. I think a lot of people in America think that they're educated on the topic of what's going on. I thought I was. You have to look at it, right? Think about this. Trump done sold America, right? We know this. But he sold it to two different groups. He sold it to Musk, and he also sold it to the far-right evangelist fascist people. I don't know how this is going to end, because I'm sure those two groups are going to end up fighting each other, because they both done paid for America. And this man, Trump, done grifted both of them. I don't know what's going to happen to him. Musk is the real actual evil. We have to get rid of him. By any means, as my brother Malcolm X said, by any means.